of burble. Ooh, that sounded good. Ooh. Oh, it sounds pretty good, guys. Here we go. All right, guys. Let's see, coral. It's more of a, what do you think? Like a salmon color, like orange pinkish. I'm not colorblind, thank God. Flamingo, my favorite. Pearl. It's like a really bright white. Really bright white. Turquoise, kind of a light blue. Pretty nice. But with the red seats, that flamingo goes so nicely. Emerald. This is what I had on my previous car, I think, which was Isle of Man green, and then orange on the inside, the Kia Lamy orange. Rose, that should be more of a pink. Oh, okay. This design is also cool, guys. This design was not there on the pre-LCI cars in the middle of the vent. And then Azure, which is a really nice sharp blue, kind of reminds me of Greece. You'll hear the back tires are rubbing, guys. It's just so low. And these Pirellis are kind of chunky. We have a little fun, right? We can still have fun during the break-in. Because if you're not having fun, like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? And maybe we can hear what the car sounds like underneath the tunnel a little bit. You ready, guys? Sounds great. Sounds really, really good. People being dumb. I may have pushed it there a little bit, guys. That's all right. The car is warm and we've been driving it for a while. What's good, guys? Welcome back to Unlockable Character. I have the camera in full frame. We're at a gas station. Just want to give you a walk around of what the car looks like right now. It is just about sunset here. It's about 9 p.m. So tomorrow we are putting the exhaust on the car. For those of you guys who haven't seen it before, there is lighting on the side of the headlights. We did lower it on the Cobra height adjustable kit, so it's all the way low. This is basically a lowering spring with a perch, which makes the stock suspension a coilover that you can raise up and down. You can see this is like one finger fitment. The P0s are pretty thick. They actually rub more than, I would say, the Michelins, the Pilot Sports. We put these Mega Chip mud guards on the front. We got to put them on the back tomorrow, plus the exhaust, which I'm super psyched about. And then on Friday, we are going to go put the splitter and the wing on at TS1. The exhaust is going on at High Tech, but I hope this footage is coming out great. Still have a little bit of light left. I haven't washed the car, guys, in about a week since the PPF and ceramic coating. I was debating about washing it tonight, but I'm just gonna hold off and we'll do a hand wash on Saturday with Drew. But let's get some footage of the drive home. Let's go. And I'm gonna flip back to the wide angle camera inside the car, guys. Let's go. All right, guys, so I have flipped back to the wide angle. You can tell this is called Hyperview on GoPro. I have a Hero 11 Black, and Hyperview gives you the full kind of field of view, especially for POV and driving. It's really good. The standard setup when you get in the car, you actually have the factory navigation as the center cluster. I have CarPlay running here. If I put maps on, for example, and hit home, what'll happen is that this will become Apple Maps, which is really, really cool. And it zooms in all the way from like outer space. It takes forever. It's kind of hilarious. And then if you hit this icon here, which is the route icon, that'll become turn by turn, and that'll become the whole map. I actually prefer the turn by turn in the middle, and then the whole map over here. But for right now, you know, I don't even need the GPS. I just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. If you get out of the destination, it still gives you Apple Maps here. But when you go back to the home screen, it will go back to the factory navigation when you hit nav here, as you can see. All right, guys, I'm going to put the car into M mode, dial over to track. You will only get track if you have the M Driver Professional package. That gives you track mode, which immediately turns off the safety systems, and it also turns off this screen, which is pretty cool. You'll see when I hit activate track, the cluster changes to my track mode. That turns off. You just have to hit a button, it'll turn back on. I'm gonna put this into M2 mode. You can hear the valves opened. Exhaust goes on tomorrow, guys. I'm psyched. But M2 right now is everything is in full sports settings except the suspension and the steering, which is in the comfort settings. It's rear wheel drive, DSC off, traction off. That's how I like to drive the car. And normally I keep the engine temperature, sorry, I should say the water temperature and the boost gauge here. I have the oil temperature, the fuel gauge here. I have my tire pressures here. I also have the tire pressures there. You can, in this screen, actually bring up the map, which is kind of cool. So let's actually do that, guys. Let's put the map up there. And if you want that to be Apple Maps again, you just go into CarPlay, open up Apple Maps, and let's see, I'll put that destination in again. Not too worried about you guys seeing that, really. I know some people are like, oh, you can't put your home address online. It's all right, guys. But there you go, Apple Maps is up there. I'm gonna bring this back to the main screen, the BMW screen, and you can see all the information is here. We have Apple Maps here. And let's go, guys. Let's get on the road so you can hear what this thing is like right now. Remember, factory exhaust, but completely modified suspension. We have the height adjustable lowering kit. We have the what's it called? Milway Motorsport monoballs. Okay, I gotta turn my headlights on. Here we go. We have the cold air intake installed, which is pretty nice. You might hear a little bit of whooshing noise. We have the SPL front adjustable outer tie rods. We have the SPL rear race tow arm links with the eccentric lockout kit. And we have 20mm Bono spacers, which are very lightweight spacers, even though they're 20mm, which is thick. Those are all the way around, which is giving us that super nice one finger fitment. And guys, from what I've experienced, this car shifts a lot better than the pre-LCI car. Paddle shifters feel better, the shifting speed is better, and there's a clamping, kind of a digital clamping noise that you hear in the car. I haven't coded out the active sound design, so I will do that tomorrow. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait to do any coding till the dealership breaks in the car next Tuesday, because if I code anything into the car now, the dealership will just code it out when they update the software on Tuesday. Late at night, guys, I actually turned the screen brightness down. It can be really, really bright. So there's a scroll wheel over here, and you'll see that's all the way down, that's all the way up. Quite a difference. So I like to go all the way down, less glare. We do have satin PPF on the whole screen here. That helps during the day. Shout out Drew, Precision Window Tin and Film. And shout out Miles, who I had a life coaching session with today out of Albuquerque. We talked about real estate, we talked about trading, we talked about entrepreneurship, and we talked about, you know, how to avoid the people in your life who you basically grow past, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna grow past people in places, and those same people in places might try to keep you down. And so you gotta be aware of that. This life we live, guys, you know, if you want more, if you want to do better, you got to leave your own backyard. And sometimes that means leaving friends who you've known for a long time because they don't want any better. And you shouldn't wish them any, you know, ill will, but if you want to get out there and, you know, take the world in your hands, just some people will, you know, A, they'll try to basically backstab you, which is kind of crazy. B, they'll try to talk you out of it and say, you know, there's no way you could do it because they don't believe in themselves. And C, they'll try to make you scared. You know, they'll say, you know, this is the worst outcome that could happen if you do that. Or, you know, they'll just try to basically mess with your emotions because they don't have the confidence and the drive to do what you have. So don't let that get you down, guys. Lock in and get to where you want to go. That's really what this channel is also about. Unlockable Character, guys. Thank you for all the support. Let's get the comments going. Let's get the subscriptions going. And please share the channel as well. So much more to come. I'm thinking about a Discord for trading. I'm gonna definitely run more merchandise, the him decal, and more G80 parts on the Shopify. So look out for that as well. But for now, guys, let's get some driving in. I'm gonna go down to 5th. I only have 400 miles on the car. I can't go above 5,000 RPM, but woo! Sounds good, huh? Sounds really good in here. So for the first 500, 600 miles, you're not supposed to go, I just looked this up. BMW M has like specific instructions for the break-in on these cars. For the first 500, 600 miles, you shouldn't go above 5,000 RPM, and you shouldn't go past 104, 106 miles an hour. And you shouldn't do any kickdowns, guys. So those kickdowns are when you basically accelerate with your foot all the way down to the pedal, and the car will drop multiple gears at once. So don't do that during the break-in. From 600 to 1,200 miles, you can go up to 6,000 RPM, but you should not be going past 6,000 RPM. And you should not be wide open throttle in the 1st to 3rd gears. You can give it a little bit more of the oomph in like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. But 1st to 3rd gears for the 600 to 1,200 miles, you shouldn't be giving it wide open throttle. I should be at break-in probably, I'd say by Monday I should be at 1,200 miles, so that the dealership is, you know, perfectly at 1,200 when we go to break it in on Tuesday. Yeah, that intake noise sounds great. But oh, you guys already know I can't wait for the exhaust. And I checked in with my friend at A&A Performance here in Gwinnett. Shout out A&A Performance. They handle so many BMW M cars. He told me, you know, right now XHP does not support the 2025 M4s, the LCIs. So I sent him my VIN. We're gonna wait for the support to be there, but in the meantime, guys, I'm gonna flash the CS transmission tuning. So that is something that you can basically schedule someone online, pay them about like 300 bucks, and you get the CS transmission tuning, the CS steering tuning, the CS suspension tuning, and the CS differential tuning, and all of that software, which is crazy, but all that software can change how the car operates. And that's also the world we live in, guys. Yes, this is all hardware, but software tells the hardware what to do. And just changing values in the software can make the car feel like a completely different car. It's unbelievable. I've really grown to like the headlights, guys. They are so intricate. There are so many bulbs in the headlights. And if you don't look at it and you just think, oh, you know, the new snake eyes are such a drastic change in design language and you don't like them, well, guess what? People didn't like the grille when it came out. Now they love the car, you know what I mean? And same thing with the Supra. When that came out, people hated the car. Now people love the car. I had one when it came out. Like, you know, I don't listen to this groupthink mentality. I don't listen to that first hot take that people put out there that other people with no mental capacity take on and take it on like it's their own idea. You know what I mean? Form your own opinions, guys. And not only that, form your own opinions and then challenge the groupthink. People will respect you for that. All right, let's go down to 5th gear. That's 4,000 RPM. Let's go down to just about 5,000 RPM. Woo! I'm enjoying it now. I just can't wait for tomorrow and then next week, guys. Seriously. And I hope I get you some really nice city views as we go into the city here from North Georgia. Nowadays, with the BMW M cars, one of the biggest reasons to get it is the shift knot, because on the M Performance cars they have like a little toggle thing, and that thing is just outrageous, guys. That's like it just does not look good. It does not feel good. I don't even know if you can even shift with it because it's so small. Just rest your arm. Like, it's so nice to have this leather shift knob with the shift speed settings on the shift knob itself. I'm in the fastest shift speed setting right now, and honestly guys, I'm loving how the transmission is feeling. A little bit of burble. Ooh, that sounded good. Ooh. Oh, it sounds pretty good, guys. I really hate being in the left lane here because it's really uneven road, so I'm gonna go all the way to the right. Probably tell from me going up and down so much. There you go. The left hand side there is just crazy. You do not want to be over there. Look at this, guys. We got 3 cars pulling by Super Duty. That's crazy. And for those of you that don't know, when I picked up my car, the trucking company that dropped the car off had not parked, on the trailer of the truck, my car and a white 4 Series were like this. They were basically kissing each other with the front bumpers basically touching. And I think during the transportation, the front bumpers kind of rubbed on each other, and a little bit of the paint actually rubbed off on the front bumper of mine. And when I went to pick up the car, you know, I was like, after waiting for so long to pick up the car to have the front bumper damaged on a frozen paint, I was kind of upset, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't let it ruin the day for me, you know? We got some touch-up paint, like some true OEM frozen black touch-up paint. Shout out TS1 AutoWorks in Tucker. And then Drew, when he was doing the PPF, before he put the PPF on, he laid down that touch-up paint. And now with the PPF on top of it, you can't even tell. And I've got some plans for what I might do in terms of accents and details on the front bumper, so you'll probably never even notice it. And unless I said something, yeah, people probably would never even notice it. But I did end up getting like 6% off the MSRP of the car, so that was nice. But, you know, I think in the long run, guys, things like that, don't let it ruin something that could be great, you know, something that could be amazing. A little nick on a car, the rest of the car was perfectly fine. Yeah, you know what, like 0.01% of the car was damaged during transport. Do I really care that much to make a big deal out of it? No, I really don't. I'm still enjoying the car just as much as if I was if the car was perfect on delivery, you know what I mean? So really no issues there. There's some serious potholes on the left lane here, so I'm trying to avoid those. It's a pretty clear night, guys. We've had really hazy, polluted days in Atlanta. And it's nice to have a lot of visibility at night, especially in a satin black, frozen black car. Like, I wonder how much people can actually see me. There's a lot of braking up ahead, and it's really people who are getting so close to the people in front of them. Like, why would you do that? Just go around them. It makes no sense to me. To be honest, when I drive my car hard, I don't really use the brakes. I downshift a lot. And a lot of you guys have noticed that, but downshifting is basically called engine braking. And you can slow the car down and also settle it without having to use your brakes, and that extends the life of your brakes. I have carbon ceramic rotors, which means that, you know, they should last, at least the rotors should last the life of the car. We're talking about like 100,000 plus miles, which is incredible. On the previous car, I also had carbon ceramic rotors, and the pads, they were basically like, I would say 75% life after 30,000 hard miles, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And track time. So if you're thinking about, should I spec the carbon ceramic brakes, go for it. Unless of course you're gonna spec another G82 and this is your first one that you're speccing, like your first G80, first G82. Maybe you're getting a manual, you know, test the waters, see if you like the platform. Look how dumb people are. Like, why would I have to do that? It makes no sense to me. Makes zero sense to me why I would have to do that. So right now, guys, the heads-up display is getting a little cut off for me based on my seating position, so I'm gonna hit up on the rotary pad, that dial pad thing. That brings up the shortcuts. One of my shortcuts is the head-up display, so I can go there. I'm gonna increase the height just a little bit so I can see it better. And maybe you guys can see the heads-up display right now because it's nighttime. I'll increase the brightness too. Look at that. Look at that, guys. So I'm gonna keep it right there. And let's scroll through some music so you can see what that's like. I'm gonna go over to Spotify. I'm not gonna play anything so that I don't get a copyright strike, but you'll be able to see what this is like, guys. Alright, this is the in-car Spotify app that's loading. It's not through CarPlay. Remember, the in-car app actually sounds better for whatever reason. I'm gonna scroll down on the steering wheel here, and you'll see all the songs now are coming up on the heads-up display, and then on the left you still get the directions, which is super cool. On iDrive 8 and 7.0, the directions would be replaced by the music if you scrolled and you were trying to select a song. I'm gonna put the brightness down again, guys. I'm gonna see if I can go to the interior lighting, and while it's nighttime, change the colors around in here for you so you guys can see what that's like. Right now I have it on Flamingo. I really like that. I am gonna introduce a custom color through coding, but let's go through the options. Ivory, that's white, very clean. I have it on max brightness, by the way, guys. This is, what is that called? Citrine, so it's kind of yellow. You'll notice on the LCI, we don't have as much ambient lighting underneath the vents on both the driver and the passenger side. There's no longer ambient lighting there. But the vents themselves look a lot cooler. So, you know, it's a little bit of a trade-off, but not too much of a biggie. I'm just gonna go around these cars real quick. Woo, just at 106. Gotta stick to that braking, guys. Gotta stick to that braking. Alright, that guy wants to come over, no problem. Here we go. Alright, guys. Let's see, coral. It's more of a, what do you think? Like a salmon color, like orange pinkish. I'm not colorblind, thank God. Flamingo, my favorite. Pearl. It's like a really bright white. Really bright white. Turquoise, kind of a light blue. Pretty nice. But with the red seats, that Flamingo goes so nicely. Emerald. This is what I had on my previous car, I think, which was Isle of Man green and then orange on the inside, the Kia Lamy orange. rose. That should be more of a pink. Oh, okay. This design is also cool, guys. This design was not there on the pre-LCI cars in the middle of the vent. And then Azure, which is a really nice sharp blue. Kind of reminds me of Greece. But all right, let's put it back to flamingo. Let's get back to driving, guys. Brightness is all the way down. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna turn the maps off. Don't need that anymore. I'm gonna put this back to my tire pressure. I'm running 36 all the way around right now, guys. There we go. Car feels so good, guys, just gliding along. All right, 7th, 6th, 5th. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Ah, it's so tempting, guys, but I am holding back. I'm sticking to that brake-in. I want this car to last. Do that one more time. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That sounded excellent. Look at that, people getting too close to each other. All right, this guy knows what to do. All right. You'll hear the back tires are rubbing, guys. It's just so low. And these Pirellis are kind of chunky. We have a little fun, right? We can still have fun during the break-in. Because if you're not having fun, like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Alright guys, so the GoPro actually overheated there. I think I've been running it for at least 15 minutes at 4K 60, and sometimes it does that even though we're inside the car. I think being that it's on my head, my own body heat heats it up even more. I have the AC going, but it is what it is. Hopefully if I put the windows down and get some airflow, it won't overheat. And maybe we can hear what the car sounds like underneath the tunnel a little bit. You ready, guys? Sounds great. Sounds really, really good. People being dumb. I may have pushed it there a little bit, guys. That's all right. The car is warm and we've been driving it for a while. Woo! That sounds really good. Alright guys, let's get this footage. Put the AC on blast so that the GoPro doesn't overheat again, and I put the windows up. I actually just held the GoPro next to the AC vent for like a minute while we were at that light, so. I'm also wearing a jacket, which is increasing my own body temperature, but hopefully it doesn't overheat anymore, guys. just feels so smooth, guys. I'm sure you guys remember this stretch of road. It's my favorite with the exhaust, but I gotta wait till tomorrow to really enjoy it. Woohoo! So the intake that we have on the car right now is Mastery of Art and Design. It's the engine bay intakes, it's not the front bumper intakes. The front bumper intakes, you got to take the whole front bumper off. It's a pain in the ass. And then tomorrow we're doing the single non-resonated mid pipe and the Fat Boy catless downpipes. We're doing the SST valve controller. The mid pipe and the downpipes are by Mastery of Art and Design. The valve controllers by SST. And we're doing the Big Daddy's Garage mini cats, 2 of them, so there's no check engine light. So with the intakes, the downpipes, the mid pipe, I think, you know, that probably adds like 30 to 40 horsepower on the car. And so the car is probably pushing, like I would say 530 wheel horsepower, which is kind of crazy, guys. But that'll be tomorrow. And then the swan neck wing, guys, like, can you believe it? I'm gonna be like the first person to run that thing on the LCI. Can't wait to show you guys. The owner of TS1, Alex, he's personally going to install it on the car for me. Good friend of mine, trust him with my life. Some things in life, it's not about money, guys, it's about the relationship. And you'll learn that as you get older. Clout is temporary, guys. The respect is forever, okay? I'm trying to tell you guys. All these people out here, they're looking for everyone else's approval. You only need your own approval. Not only that, just never give up on yourself. A lot of people, the only asset they have is their vanity. And when the only asset you have is your looks and how you feel about yourself because of your looks, you know, people can really take advantage of you, and you won't be building a solid foundation because your looks can basically go away in an instant. But your character, the person that you are, that's forever. And just like the money, guys, that can go away in an instant too, but if you're the type of person that knows how to make money, that's never gonna go away. You can always make more money. And if there's one thing America's taught me, is the answer to pretty much all your problems can be making more money. It's just how you do it that determines what kind of person you are.